Hello there, and welcome to today's Daily Dominion. We have a pretty orange board, so there's a good mix of plunder and seaside, as well as, of course, some other things. So we do a tournament, which is pretty good. Draw is a little weird here. There's Berserker, which is a lot of time Berserker just slows things unbearably, but I think here the stuff it can gain is like good enough acceleration that it won't be too terrible. If they have the 5-2, maybe a little rough, but since we have our forehand here, it's not too bad. There's a thing you can do to draw here, which is interesting. Tide Pools is this card that gives you a lot of draw on play and then some penalty at the start of your next turn that can make it, in like conventional drawing decks, maybe a thing that if you want it at all, you can only take like a couple copies of it, play one every other turn. But there are some times where you can mitigate the penalty a little bit, and this is one of those times, because Grotto will draw you cards at the start of your next turn, so you can kind of shift the draw between Tide Pools and Grotto to keep having decent turns. And the idea will be like, I mean, if you can get them to play like, 3 or 4 Tide Pools a turn, just discard down to 0 cards, and then draw the cards from Grotto, and to maybe have like 2 Grottos played each turn. Now that's all a lot of cards to gain, so it would be a while before we're there, but that would be, you could use Flagship for some copies of those things, but that would be the basic idea, is to draw with Tide Pools and then protect the start of your next turn with Grotto. So would open, I mean, they're like probably any of the 4s are actually okay to open with here. Maybe not Flagship right off the bat, but I'm gonna do Patron. And the question is, I think, do we want silver or do we just want to go ahead and get a Grotto? The AI probably has, well, no, they paid 3 coppers. So. I think Grotto would be okay. I'm going to go ahead and take a silver. We would like to hit Province once if we can. We're going to play the Berserker. And the Berserkers are faded, which means we have some control of playing it a little more often. I don't know. I guess this should be Tide Pools or Tournament. We kind of already have the money if we can draw decks, so maybe we just start in on the Tide Pools. Okay. And then I guess I'll take a Tournament here. Put the Berserker on top. The guy's having a little bit of trouble getting going here. We almost hit 8 right off rip. I don't know that we want a second Berserker necessarily. Maybe a Flagship or another Tournament even. Definitely gonna want a Grotto before we shuffle, but we're gonna have some low money hands in here. We just run with the Tide Pools for now. This is actually the Tide Pools going into the bottom here is actually probably pretty beneficial. We want to top deck the Berserker. What did the AI do here? Okay, we are getting attacked at the start of the next turn. Kind of think we don't top deck the Berserker. This is kind of funny. Let's see what we get here. We may hit 8. We did get to 8. Just barely. But we did get there. So like next turn is going to be a little tough. We didn't find a grotto, which would have helped a little bit. I think I'll get another tournament. Yeah. So we got to discard twice. We probably just want to trigger the shuffle. We could play the Berserker, get another Tide Pools, and buy a grotto here. So this is rough too, though. We at some point need to play the grottos to get a little bit of stuff going, but here's the thing. We're going to discard down to 3, then we're going to have to discard 2, so the grotto is useless. At least here. I think we just play Patron and buy a grotto. This was unfortunate. There's Province and like Tide Pools in the bottom here. Okay. I think I'm going to buy one more Tide Pools. I'm not going to top deck the Berserker. Oh, it's not Tide Pools. Those are all out of the shuffle. We do get a prize, which is cool. I think we got to take this steed here. You could take... I would like... If we can find a grotto... Okay, now we'll be able to do something here. In fact, we probably shouldn't even play the Patron. And just set aside as much as we can here to get a little draw going. Do a grotto. The Tide Pools being in hand here is a little unfortunate. But so we're going to discard. How do I get rid of this? So we kind of made it work. We didn't find a tournament, which is unfortunate. But we are getting... In fact, we bottom decked like 2 of them. But we are getting closer to the dream. I'm going to not set aside Province because we would like it in deck. We're going to have to lose the tournaments, unfortunately. We didn't get attacked, so we can actually keep one of them. Though, and we'll probably get around to it. Maybe it's better to keep a Tide Pools. We're going to draw 8, and we should get around to everything anyway. I don't think it matters a whole lot. Oh. So now we're running. It'd be nice to have some flagships now so we can play the steed again. I guess the AI did manage to buy a province at some point. Oh wait, we should really technically attack them first here. I guess we already kind of messed that up, but it's okay. If we draw on the flagship there, then we would have been able to double the princess, which would have been great. But we're going to go 3. I think we're okay to just toss province at this point. We get our villager back from patron, and we have 2 buys. So we'll just buy probably like a couple tide pools. It'd be flagship. You can also use flagships as your extra copies of your tide pools too. None of it's too important. We could even get another berserker now if we wanted to stock up on a bunch of there's also a mega turn you can do here with flagship on princess. So maybe we get more of those. Maybe we do 1 flagship, 1 tide pools. So they get a pretty good grotto here at least. So we'll do the tide pools down to 0. Let's do the flagship on the steed. I guess we go ahead and get followers. We're not finding the we didn't find the tide pools. There's like a whole bunch in here. We didn't find the princess either though. That's not as surprising. So we don't actually have to discard too much to tide pools here. We could even imagine here just doing the grotto first and then doing the tide pools. Okay. I don't know, we're going to be close to the being able to do the pile out, the province pile out. So flagship, you can play like 3 or 4 flagships down and then play princess, and princess will get replayed like 4 times. So the provinces will cost 0. We'd have to play princess 5 times here just to have the buy to do it. So that's the only question. We have 4 plays right now. So if we can gain and play another, flagship, then it'll work. I don't know if we'll have the actions for it though. That's the question. It may have to wait a turn, which it'll be a little hard to do the next turn if we have played all the tide pools this turn, but we probably aren't quite there unless there's another flagship already in deck, because we're going to need to, I don't think it's quite going to work here, but we can probably do it next turn. I guess we're not a million miles away from a 3 pile, so maybe it would be worth it to score, but we can play followers to do that as well. I don't really want any of the other prizes. Maybe we just take the 3 province here and just do the finish next turn also. Or the 4 province here. Doot, doot, doot. If we had also maybe had an acting troupe earlier. Why did it go straight to... Oh, Berserker can't gain anything. That's why it's... Right. That was my buy. My buy was on the thing. Right. This is unfortunate that the trusty steed is here, but that's okay. So we'll just toss all these. And then we do have enough to do flagship tide pools twice, which gets us back a little bit of actions. Oh, here we ran out of draw. Unfortunately. We still have close to enough. What do we have? We need 12. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we need the diadem to win this turn. Oh, we just don't even have enough actions to do it, period, do we? We'll have to win next turn. Oh, I should play the grotto. Probably here again we can take the grotto first and then do the tide pools. So there's just 2 of them. Do we have enough actions to use the other flagship on Princess? We'll find out. Find out if we even get to it first. We don't even get to it. Maybe I shouldn't have taken the duchy so soon. Alright. I don't know why I'm clicking on these. Completionist. Then villagers. We gotta get the diadem more money. They're a pretty good kingdom. I don't know that... I kind of messed up a couple turns, I think. We didn't ever get the balance totally right between the tide pools and like the flagship stuff. But it is awkward. Like if you draw the cards you draw in your opening hand, a lot of times you can't use them. So we had a couple unlucky starting hands in some sense, but I guess it's not really unlucky because you've set aside almost all of your treasures and green cards, so you're just guaranteed to have the actions. Like you don't want to have the trusty steed in hand in the start, but that all's gonna happen. I don't know that was unlucky necessarily. We didn't go too fast here, but that's a berserker board. That's what happens on a berserker board anyway. So, we didn't quite hit the full mega turn, but that's okay. We'll just have to deal with it. I don't know where I'm going with this. All right. I hope you enjoyed Tide Pools Grotto. I think it's a pretty neat combination of orange cards. And I will catch you all tomorrow. Thank you for watching.